Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we have another garage video. We're going to be doing some wheel bearings on our 2019 Polaris RZR Turbo. I've got 3,045 miles on it, and they're not too terrible other than this one over here. I don't know if it's going to come through on camera, but this one's got a lot of play in it, and it just kind of happened one day. I made a turn and it felt like I had a big chunk of ice underneath that corner, and it was probably because it went over. So sit back and enjoy. We're going to take it apart. Okay, so we're getting the wheels tore down, and I always like this to double check to see exactly what's loose, make sure I don't have ball joints or anything loose. I start shaking and I notice that my whole lower control arm is moving quite dramatically. I don't think I necessarily have a bad wheel bearing. I think the bushings in my lower control arm are shot or at least loose, because if you notice that bolt is moving as well. So we're going to do a little tear down here and see what we find. All right. Oop. That was tightening. Obviously it was loose. Figure out how to get my hands snaked in here. That one was tight. Well, let's see that. Can't quite get enough movement here. Let me try jacking it up a little bit. So, having a little trouble getting it out. I don't know if I'm doing this the proper way or not, so don't judge me. I think if I loosen up the axle, it'll give it a little bit more room to come. So this is 1 1/16. Yep, that was it. So, now, how's this hole look, Jeff? That doesn't look wallered out. So, the bushings don't look bad themselves either. Really.
I wonder if maybe the bolt was just loose.
Visually, maybe that bolt was just loose. That doesn't look oblong. I think we're just going to hope for the best here, and
even the other one's fine.
try, and maybe it's a little bit, but I think we're just going to hope for the best here and try putting it back together and tighten everything down and hope that maybe Polaris just didn't tighten those bolts down very good. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take the lower ball joint off. Like my dad says, listen to your dad's kids, they're always right. Sometimes you just need more power. I love this little thing here, but it is not always got the most torque. Alright, now we just gotta get that spread. Sometimes just a little love tap will do her.
So,
I love doing stuff I can't see. Well, the good news is, folks, is if this is all it's run, I'm still going to replace my wheel bearings in front, because I do have one that the inner race is coming apart on that side. So I didn't buy them for nothing. However, I probably will not do my rears today, just because they're still fairly tight and not making any noise. So. We're going to give those a little love with the impact. Maybe if I'm feeling froggy, I'll look up torque specs. Don't worry, I didn't over tighten it. This thing barely has enough power to tighten it. Oh yeah, those don't move at all now.
good thing you caught it when you did and it didn't waller out that hole anymore.
Yeah. We'll cut to seeing if it actually fixed it later, because I don't want to put it all back together when I have to take it back apart yet. So next step, we're going to still move forward with the front wheel bearings. So we're going to take these brakes off. And they are
50.
Yeah, it's like 15 millimeter as well. Oh, it's been a lot easier if the ball joint was hooked up. Got this nice little magnetic parts tray I should be using. Haven't been. So just let the parts drop all over the ground. Also a good time to inspect your brake pads. I'm fairly easy on brakes, so mine look really good yet. 3,000 miles. Original brakes.
It's because your foot's always on the throttle and never on the gas.
Yeah, if you don't use
or on the brake, good God.
If you don't use the brakes, they don't wear out. Pro tip. Just like that, the hub comes off. Now, if you were just greasing the wheel bearings, this would be as far as you'd take it. It seems how we are going to replace the wheel bearing. Now I got to pull the tie rod and the upper ball joint off. The tie rod is probably 18. The ball joint is going to be a 15. No, it's not a
there a guard here?
No, it's a dialogue nut. Turns out, tie rods move.
This is your dad.
Yeah, little zip tie to the spring.
Zip tie don't cost nothing.
Keep your brake caliper from dropping and getting in your way and damaging something. Don't ever hit on the tie rod itself, always hit on the knuckle. It just takes a little shock just to vibrate it loose. If you hit on the tie rod itself, you're going to damage those threads and you're going to hate yourself trying to get the nut back on. It's off. There's several different thoughts on how to do this. They make tools you can buy that go in these grooves to press them out. Some people just use a punch. Currently my dad is trying to make a tool to do this. We have a lot of these bearings to do because we both own Polarises, and I'm just doing the fronts today. My dad is going to be doing the rears on his, so while he's working on that, I may try some of the other ways. And just so you know, this bearing was bad. See, I don't know, can you see that?
Yeah, it's coming on camera.
It should not move like that. Okay, we're going to press out the bearing. You can buy one of these things for about 50 bucks in various places online. Or you can have, my dad's not here right now, he's went to RZR to get a set of snap ring pliers, but, or you can have your dad, who is 71 years old and bored, spend a couple days building one. Fits right in there. Take your Harbor Freight press. Like butter. So there's the old bearing. You can see it was in pretty rough shape. Now, my dad is going to be replacing some bearings on his, and he has 5,200 miles where I have 3,000. But mine has been in every condition imaginable. It's been in mud, it's been in sand, it's been on blacktop, it's been as fast as it'll go, as fast as the machine will let it go. It's been in deep water, it's been in the air. Nothing, if you treat it like that, is going to last forever. So that's where we're at. Okay, so to press in, we're actually going to use this plate that we made and an old wheel bearing. And just go back down. Tighten that. And you might have to do a little adjusting because you want to make sure you're going in perfectly straight or it'll start to bind. So far, so good. Now, you can do this without a press, but, and I'm not sure why you. This press was from Harbor Freight, and it was with a coupon. It was like $170 out the door. And if you got a place to put it, by all means, go get one. They're a lifesaver. That's not all the way in, because if you press much further, you can start pressing the new bearing or the old bearing in. So what we're going to do now is take just a piece of steel there, and that always helps to tighten this back down. Make sure you got your plate covering everything. And you don't ever want to press them too far. You gotta make sure you get down far enough to get the snap ring back in, but you'll feel it bottom out. If you keep pressing, you're going to damage the bearing. And if you look, it's all the way down, and the snap ring channel is available. Now, put snap ring in. Okay, so it's time for reassembly. Don't know how much I really need to show you guys, other than it's just the complete opposite of disassembly. You want to put it onto the. Am I doing this the right way? Put it onto the ball joint. Go through. Nut. And I'm just going to loosely assemble everything and then tighten everything at once. Get the buckler. Okay. Yeah, it's real easy. Don't worry about it. We'll edit that part out. There's the bone. I think I went up too far. Yep. Gotta make sure you don't have it up too far. Pick up the tie rod. And then figure out where the airline went. Somebody coiled it up for me.
Is that you?
So, these are all, just remember, these are all nylock nuts, and Polaris recommends that you replace the nuts. I've seen several people say that if you just put a little bit of Loctite on them and torque them to, I believe it was 40 foot-pounds, you're going to be okay. So, I grab Loctite. So, blue Loctite, because I'd like to take them apart again. Just a little dab will do ya. And then we'll go through with a torque wrench after everything's done. Make sure that they're all to torque. Helps to have the correct size socket. For some reason, 18 millimeter doesn't run a 15 very well. Look at that, like butter. Now at this point, before you put the hub assembly back on, you're going to want to grease your ball joints. Or ball joints. You're going to want to...
Wheel bearings?
Wheel bearings! Woo! I bought this on Amazon for, I think, $18. They have more expensive ones. This one only has one hole right there where the grease comes out of. And so you just want to turn it several times. More expensive ones will have multiple holes, so you just put them in grease. That slides over your axle and go right into the bearing. And you get your grease gun. And just start pumping away. I'll give her about 4 or 5 pumps, and then I turn it. More and turn it. And you're going to want to do it just till you see the seal start to spread, because you don't want to over grease it. I start to see just a little bit of grease pop out there. That's brand new bearing, and that took about 12 pumps of grease, I think. 12 to 16 pumps of grease. I wasn't really counting. So it's important to grease these things if you want them to live. Now, throw our hub back on. I believe these are supposed to be torqued to 110 foot-pounds. Okay, we got it all back together. Off camera, I did go through and tighten everything down, torque everything down. That's the boring stuff nobody needs to see. Just remember to always check your torque specs. There's all kinds of places you can check online. If you got a service manual, do that. But there's always places online that'll show you what all torque specs are. We're just going to throw the wheels back on. Again, boring stuff, nobody needs to see it. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Hope it helped. If not, sorry. But remember to like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Have a wonderful day.